Let me be completely honest with you right now. Most people who watch videos like this one will nod along, feel motivated for about 48 hours, and then go right back to doing exactly what they were doing before. And 5 years from now, they'll be in the exact same financial position they're in today, maybe worse. But if you're still here watching this, something inside you already knows that the path you're currently on isn't going to get you where you actually want to go. And that matters. That feeling matters. So stay with me, because what we're about to walk through together has genuinely changed the trajectory of thousands of people's financial lives. And it's not complicated. It's actually shockingly simple. And that's what makes it so powerful. Let's start with the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You're probably working harder than you ever have. Longer hours, more stress, more pressure. And yet when you look at your bank account at the end of the month, it feels like you're running on a treadmill going nowhere. You're making money. It's leaving. And the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels like it's getting bigger, not smaller. That feeling right there, that quiet sense of dread when you think about your financial future, that's not weakness. That's information. It's your gut telling you that something in the equation is missing. And here's what's missing. You haven't put your money to work for you yet. Right now, people who fully understand how consistent investing works are building wealth quietly in the background while going about their normal lives. Not because they're smarter, not because they earn more, but because they started. They were consistent, and they understood one concept that changes everything. Before we go deeper, I need to tell you about the program linked in the description below this video. We don't make this available all the time, and honestly, if you're someone who's comfortable staying exactly where you are financially, this isn't for you. But if there's even a small part of you that's tired of watching life get more expensive while your savings stay the same, the description is worth reading. Now let's get back to what you came here for. Picture your life 3 years from now. You wake up and instead of immediately feeling that familiar knot in your stomach about bills, about whether you'll ever be able to stop working this hard, about whether retirement is even a real possibility, you feel something different. You feel stable, quietly powerful, because in the background something is growing. Not because of luck, not because of some windfall, but because of a decision you made and kept making consistently. That's not a fantasy, that's math. And math doesn't care about your past mistakes. It doesn't care if you failed before. It only cares about what you do consistently going forward. Let's talk about compound interest, because this is where the drama really starts. Imagine you put a small amount of money into an investment. Let's say it earns a return. Now next year, you don't just earn a return on what you originally put in. You earn a return on the original amount plus the return it already earned. And the year after that, the same thing happens again. Only now the base is even bigger, and it keeps growing. And growing. Slowly at first. So slowly that most people give up before it starts to look impressive. But then suddenly, like a snowball rolling down a mountain, it picks up mass and speed and it becomes almost unstoppable. The people who quit early never see this. And here's the painful part. The cost of quitting early isn't just the money you didn't make. It's the exponential future that got erased. The money you could have had doesn't just disappear quietly. It takes an enormous amount of future wealth with it. Every month you delay isn't just a month. It's a compounding opportunity that's gone forever. That's not me trying to scare you. That's the cost of inaction in raw numbers. Now let's talk about what consistent investing actually looks like in real life, because people overcomplicate this to the point of paralysis, and that serves no one. Consistent investing is not checking the stock market every day. It's not timing the market. It's not being a financial genius. It's making a decision to invest a fixed amount at regular intervals no matter what the market is doing. When the market goes down, you buy more shares for the same amount of money. When it goes up, the shares you already own become more valuable. You win in both directions over time. This strategy, often called dollar cost averaging, has decades of evidence behind it, showing that consistent investors who stay the course outperform those who try to predict and time the market. And the most important word in that sentence is consistent, because here's where most people collapse. The market drops, the news goes dark, everyone around you starts panicking. And the temptation to pull out, to stop investing, to wait until things feel safer, becomes overwhelming. But the investors who build real wealth are the ones who hold steady. Not because they're fearless, but because they understand what's actually happening. They know that the drop is temporary and that their consistency is what's going to carry them through to the other side. Pattern interrupt. Stop for a second. Think about every financial decision you've ever made out of fear. Waiting, hesitating, saying next month, next year, when things are more stable. Now think about what even one of those moments of fear actually cost you. Not just in money, but in time. Because time is the one thing in investing you can never get back. The people who understand this don't just feel different, they live differently. They stop making fear-based financial decisions. They stop reacting and start responding. And slowly, without it even feeling dramatic, their entire relationship with money shifts. Let's go even deeper into the pain, because I want you to feel this fully. There's a version of your future that nobody talks about openly, but millions of people are quietly terrified of. It's the version where you reach your later years and you realize that the money isn't there, that working forever isn't a choice but a requirement, that the retirement you imagined, the freedom you promised yourself, was quietly evaporating every single year you delayed. People don't fail at investing because they're bad with money. They fail because nobody ever showed them that starting small and staying consistent is more powerful than waiting until you have more to invest. And that right there is one of the most expensive lies that keeps people stuck. The idea that you need to wait until you have more before you start. Waiting is the thing that guarantees the outcome you're afraid of. Let's flip this completely. Here's what the other side of consistent investing looks like. And I mean the actual lived experience of it, not just the numbers. You stop checking your bank account with anxiety every month. You start checking it with anticipation. You stop feeling like money is something that controls you. You start feeling like money is something you've learned to control. The stress that used to sit on your chest every Sunday night before a work week begins to lift, not all at once, but gradually. And then one day you realize it's been weeks since you felt that particular weight, that specific dread. Your confidence changes. The way you make decisions changes. You start thinking long-term in a way you never did before, not just about money, but about your life, about your choices, about what you're building. Financial consistency doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with money, and you start seeing yourself as someone who is actively building something. And that shift in self-perception is worth more than any single investment you'll ever make. Now let's talk about what separates the people who actually do this from the people who don't. Because it's not intelligence, it's not income, it's not luck, it's knowledge and execution. The people who build consistent investment habits almost always have two things. They have a clear framework they trust, and they have accountability or support that keeps them moving when motivation fades. Motivation is temporary. Systems are permanent. And people who succeed financially have both. Independent research consistently shows that investors who have professional guidance or structured frameworks keep their money in the market significantly longer during downturns. They make fewer emotional decisions. They stay consistent when the instinct is to flee. And that consistency is precisely what drives their long-term results. This is not theory. This is documented behavior across thousands and thousands of investors tracked over decades. The gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it consistently is where most people's financial futures live or die. Here's something else that almost nobody talks about. The return on investing in your financial education is one of the highest returns available to any person in any market condition. The cost of not knowing is almost always far more expensive than the cost of learning. People spend money on things that depreciate instantly. A clear understanding of how to make your money compound over time never depreciates. It only grows more valuable as you apply it. We're getting close to the end, and I want to say something that I genuinely mean. You made it this far into this video because you're not the person who gives up easily. You're the person who wants to understand, who wants to do this right. And that quality, that determination to figure it out, is exactly the quality that turns into financial results when it's paired with the right information and the right consistent action. But information alone without structure often leads to overwhelm. And overwhelm leads to inaction. And inaction is the single most expensive financial decision most people make every single day without even realizing it. That's exactly why the program in the description below this video exists. It is for people who are done watching their financial future stay on pause. People who are ready to stop circling the starting line and actually begin building something real. This is not for the person who thinks they already have it figured out. This is for the person who is honest with themselves about the gap between where they are and where they truly want to be. The window right now is open, but your financial future doesn't wait for comfort. Compound growth doesn't pause while you think about it. Every single day that passes is a day of potential growth that cannot be recovered. The people who change their financial trajectory permanently are not the ones who had perfect timing. They're the ones who decided to stop waiting. Go to the description right now. This is your moment. Take it.